All right, Jay, the Thanksgiving weekend is upon us, and you have an awful lot to talk about.
I do a lot on the menu in terms of weather, hopefully a lot on the menu in terms of dinner as well. Just be mindful if you're putting the turkey in the oven early on Sunday and power's on. There's a bit of a risk there with widespread gusty conditions. I'd hate for you to put that expensive turkey in the range and then lose power an hour into cooking the bird. So do keep that in mind. In terms of coastal impacts, there will be some elevated water levels, rough sea conditions. Look at the high tide times and the storm's arrival. Could be some coastal impacts in terms of some local flooding. This will not be as impactful, though, as what we saw with Lee in terms of that coastal effect. We do have that special weather statement, though, that is in place across all of mainland Nova Scotia, all three maritime provinces. This has to do with the very gusty winds and the potential for some areas of some very heavy rain as well. Heaviest of that rain we'll go over in a minute, looking to stay west of Nova Scotia, but still some heavy downpours possible. The strong winds are the real concern. So we'll start with the rainfall, then we'll talk about the wind. In green, 20 to 40 widespread millimeters of rain. Light green, it's a big range, under 10 to over 30. And that is because of that heavy downpour risk. Where we're likely to see the heavier rainfall, though, this will come certainly to more western areas closer to the storm track. And where you see that plus sign, that's because there will be thunderstorms embedded in this remnant of Philippe as it moves onshore, and that could result in a few pockets that could be over 50 millimeters as we look to parts of mainland Nova Scotia. Do watch into parts of eastern Cape Breton as well. Heaviest rain, 50 to well over 80 millimeters, mainly going to fall into Maine, possibly into western New Brunswick. And in terms of the winds, this is the bigger concern I have. Widespread, not sustained, but for a time, late Saturday and Sunday morning, we would be looking at east to southeasterly gusts, 80 to over 100, possible for those exposed coastal areas. As we look across the province, anywhere from a peak gust as low as 60 to potentially for those exposed areas over 100 kilometers per hour. That's from the east to the southeast. That's where that wind will be coming from, and that could result with still a lot of leaves on trees into potential outages on Sunday. In terms of the official track, slight shift to the west over yesterday. Of course, the storm is now post-tropical, but really, the size of the storm, much larger than that cone of uncertainty. It's not going to have much change in the weather that we'll see late Saturday into Sunday across Nova Scotia. Amy?
All right, thanks for that, Jay. We'll talk soon.